Michael Venom Page against Kevin Holland. Now, this fight is really damn interesting, and I actually am really looking forward to this fight because I feel like it's gonna be a real explosive, interesting fight which I just want to watch. But the other thing is that it's really damn hard to predict what's gonna actually happen in this fight because both of these guys they are quite similar in some things, but also they are very different. They have a really different history. Like they fought very different kind of opponents, and I just have some advantages of both of these fighters, and I'm gonna also give you in the end also the prediction who I think actually win this fight. Now let's begin with Holland. What kind of advantages does he have over MVP? Well, first of all, it's youth. This guy is only 31 years old, and MVP is already 36 years old. Well, the age is always a very clear advantage which you can have because you cannot really discuss about that. When you are about 30 years old, you're always gonna have an advantage over guys who are 36, 37 years old. It's just how it works, and it's never gonna really change. The other thing is that Kevin Holland has just so much more experience against high level opponents. And I'm gonna actually try to show it to you. Right, let's go here. Great. So as we can see, he has 25 wins and 10 losses, which is not really that cool. I mean, when you lose 10 times, that's not that great. But let's see who he actually fought. Let's begin from the let's see. Okay, so the first loss he had in UFC, it was against Thiago Santos, already an amazing opponent, okay, and huge guy. The second loss, Brandon Allen, also a really good opponent, really strong guy. The other ones, Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori. These guys are huge. They are very strong physically. They have good power, especially Derek Brunson, and they were like top fighters for a long time. And the thing is that Kevin Holland actually fought in middleweight, which he should have never done because this guy is not big enough for middleweight. He just did not really wanted to cut that much weight, so he went against these guys and he lost it. Now, 2020 was amazing year for Kevin Holland because he actually won, as we can see, 5 fights in a row. That's amazing. But after that, like this 2020 was like amazing year for Kevin Holland. This is where all of the memes started coming. This is where people saw Holland as a really talkative, just a loudmouth guy who was also able to fight really damn well. But then this like dark era started for him. 2021, he lost. He finally got the popularity which he needed. People were watching him. Like as you can see, he got like 2 main events, and he lost both of them. And he lost both of them in the same fashion. He just got controlled and wrestled. That's it. After that, he decided to be a welterweight, and like he had this no contest, which happens. What you gonna do? And after that, he finally, like after 2 years, started winning again against Alex Oliveira. He had a really good fight there against Tim Means, but as you can see, the competition has decreased very noticeably. Like Alex Oliveira is definitely not at the level of Marvin Vettori or Tim Means, and after that he still got the same popularity back, and now he went against Hamza Chimaev. But this fight was short notice. It was just all messed up. It did not really make any sense because, as I remember, Holland had to fight somebody else, but all of the stuff just changed because Chimaev could not really make the weight. So I don't really see this fight as a loss, but I mean, Chimaev is still one of the most feared guy in UFC. So the fact that he actually went against that guy is already a really good thing in terms of experience. And now we have a Stephen Thompson, probably one of the best strikers in UFC. Like of all time, because like Steven Thompson is just so damn good at his striking. And even then he had really damn good moments, but he just did not really fight with lots of strategy. I mean, he had some he had a really significant wrestling and grappling advantage which he did not use. He refused to use his advantages. The thing about Kevin Holland is that he's a really damn good grappler. But he said, no, I'm not gonna use it against Steven Thompson, and I'm just gonna let this guy have fun and beat me. And he got stopped because he broke his hand and all of the stuff went wrong and he just took so much damage. So I'm just telling you that this guy, even though he fought like amazing opponents, he's not really that bright. He's kind of dumb. And he's dumb because he chooses bad strategies. Like Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson, those guys, they just wrestled. They knew that they were better in wrestling, they were physically strong, so they just did the thing that was needed to win the fight. And this guy, he's just trying to make fans happy, but no one is really happy when you're losing. You gotta win. That's the most important point. And especially when you're like the last 8 fights look like this, it's not really that good. No contest, 4 losses, only 2 wins against okay opponents. That's not really that good. After that, he still started winning against Santiago Ponzinibbio, a really good opponent, Michael Chiesa, and then he lost to Jack Della Maddalena. Now, the last fight is actually not that bad. I mean, I do not really think that Kevin Holland did something especially bad in this fight. It just happened that this guy, Jack Della Maddalena, is just so smooth. He's just so damn good. And he lost that fight via split decision, so it's still fine. The other thing is that he has like the record of Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. You know what I'm saying? He's just able to beat theoretically everybody, but he can also lose to many guys. But the thing about this guy is that he's just so much more experienced than Michael Venom Page. Even though he has these losses, he just fought amazing opponents. And Michael Venom Page, I mean, this guy also has like definitely a better record, 21 to 2 losses, but still, I mean, who he really fought? Like, you're gonna tell me that Logan Storley is at the same level of Steven Thompson and so on? I mean, I don't really believe in that. I don't really watch Bellator that often, but I see these opponents and I know that they are definitely not at the level of the opponents which Kevin Holland faced. So I really cannot say if Michael Page is at the level of Kevin Holland simply because he never really faced the guys who Holland faced. So it's really hard to say if he can actually beat them. The other thing about Kevin Holland is that he really has lots to prove, because like at some point he was very hyped fighter. He was very popular, people really liked him, but after that people really saw that he was more of an entertainer than a fighter, because this guy was like winning some then losing some fights. He was never really taking fights very seriously. We saw that his weakness was wrestling at some point and he was like, nah, I'm not really gonna train wrestling that much. So it just shows that he is not really that smart when he fights. Like, he does not really feel like it's that important to win. He just goes there and has fun and tries to win the fight, but he's not really 100% focused and he's not really ready to just sacrifice everything in order to win, which is a bad thing. But maybe now he changes his mindset, because it's time. He's already like 31 years old. If he wants to actually reach real high levels, he has to be focused. He has to win a couple of fights, and when he fights against high level opponents, he has to like come up with a good game plan. He cannot just have some fun and hope that his opponent dies, because, like, of course, Holland has lots of power. That is also a huge advantage of him. He has so many knockouts because this guy has very long arms, he's very tall, and he can generate so much power. That's true, and that will be a problem for Michael Venom Page. The other thing is that he is also very damn durable. This guy is just has an amazing chin. He's just very durable, and he's not gonna quit easily. No, that's not really gonna happen. And these things mean that he has the abilities, he has physical abilities to do everything. He has physical abilities to maybe even become a champion, but I'm not really sure if he has the mental strength, mental capacity to do that stuff. All right, now let's see what kind of advantages Michael Venom Page has. Let's begin with the fact that he might actually be more accurate. He might be technically better striker. Even though Michael Venom Page never really fought like top level opponents, I have the feeling that he might be his striking technique might actually be better, because even when I saw his fight against Mike Perry, I felt like this guy is very damn sharp. He's very precise. He can find your chin quite easily, and he is physically also very explosive. He is a very good athlete, and it's gonna also help him in this fight. The thing is that he also has a lot to prove, because he's 36 years old, and if he's gonna like, this is his UFC debut, so if he loses this fight, if he gets knocked out or something, people gonna really lose interest. They're just gonna say he was never really a good fighter, he just beat trash cans in the past, so that's it. And that will be a really damn bad thing for Mr. Venom Page. So he has to win this fight, and I really believe that he's gonna try mentally to win this fight even more. Like, he's gonna come up with a good game plan, and he's gonna be more focused. He's gonna just do his best, and I feel like he might be a smarter fighter. And the other thing is that he's also quite tough. I mean, doesn't really have the same durability of Kevin Holland, but he's still a pretty tough opponent. Now I want to show you this page. So as you can see, the age difference is here, the weight is the same, height is basically the same, reach is also almost same. I mean, physical abilities is very similar, and most of the people actually do think that Holland will win. Now, I personally have a really hard time just deciding who's gonna win, because I'm aware that Kevin Holland just fought so many good fighters, and he's just so much more experienced in terms of fighting at the top level. But on the other hand, I have this inner feeling that Michael Venom Page might be a smarter fighter. You know, he might just try to win the fight via decision. He might just get some good points. He's also very damn precise, and I have the feeling that he's just gonna be more prepared. He's gonna be more prepared, and despite his age, despite his lack of experience of fighting guys like Chimaev, I feel like he will actually win this fight. So yeah, well, when I started this video, I actually wanted to say that Kevin Holland would win, but now I have the feeling that Michael Venom Page actually has the ability and will win this fight. But as I said, it's really damn hard to predict what's gonna happen in this fight. But I did my prediction. I do believe that Michael Venom Page will win this fight. Here you go.